In your consumer news, one person has died and about 24 other people sickened in a listeria outbreak, apparently linked to soft cheese. The Centers for Disease Control is still investigating the exact source of the listeria, but most of those who've become sick said they'd eaten soft cheeses. A California company called Carone Dairies has recalled certain cheeses that may be involved. 24 people in 9 states have fallen ill. 5 of those were pregnant women, and 1 suffered a miscarriage. There was also 1 death reported in Ohio. You may have received a replacement credit card in the mail recently that looks a little different, with a computer chip planted right on the card itself. It's an attempt by credit card companies and the banks to make it harder for criminals to steal your card information. But the U.S. still lags behind other countries in these types of protections. And starting next month, if you do get hit, your credit card company might not be the one responsible for reimbursing you.
They're supposed to be the latest weapons in the fight against credit card fraud, so-called chip and PIN cards. The computer chip embedded right on the face of the card contains a unique verification code each time you use it. Cybersecurity pros call it a big step forward.
That chip adds quite a significant degree of extra security. I mean, firstly, you need the PIN. But also, as opposed to with this magstripe technology, you can't just easily clone the card.
In the U.S. alone, credit card fraud costs $8 billion a year. Retailers are supposed to have installed new credit card readers by October 1st. At this hair salon in Washington, D.C., they're already in place.
Security, it's safer for the clients, safer for us, just a lot of prevention with the fraud.
But some industry experts say most retailers won't be ready.
It's much more complex to replace every single credit card and every single debit card and every single merchant payment terminal in the U.S. than I think we initially thought.
Europe and Canada have been using the new cards for years, cutting fraud by up to 80%. But because the rollout costs are expensive, U.S. banks won't yet require you to use a PIN code on the new chip and PIN cards. Instead, just a signature. Anti-fraud experts say without the PIN codes, it's just a half step towards improved security.
Why should U.S. consumers be forced to operate with the weakest technology in the world?
Now, if retailers aren't ready by October 1st, they will shoulder the liability for fraud, not the credit card company and not the customer.